It's truly hard to imagine my portrait studio without the advantage of softboxes. Control. The artist must be in control, not only of the illumination on the subject, but the illumination of the entire set. We have a lot of depth here. How are we going to create dimension, shape, form? How are we going to create separation on her hair? Let's look at each and every light, and let's ask the question, why? Why do we as artists need to be that much in control? As we review the set, let us think for just a moment, how do we go about assembling the set? We're going to create a lot of depth and dimension. We're 13 feet from the back wall to the subject. So first we set the columns in, the draping, and we came up with what we felt gave the artistic feel that we wanted. Then it becomes our responsibility as artists to choose the proper illumination. Now as you see it, everything looks exactly right. We have softbox separating the background from the column. We have another softbox with a grid controlling and some barn doors just to accent the hair. And then, as we said, a small light into the flowers. And that's all important. But let's just see how important it truly is. Let me drop that set down for just a moment without those three lights in the background. And notice how dead it goes. It's just absolutely exists with no illumination. There's no depth, there's no dimension. Now we have a beautifully illuminated subject, but something's missing. So let's come in for just a moment and just separate the background. That one element really, really helps. But how about the hair? See, she seems to be still blending in with the background a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we'll illuminate the hair, creating a little bit more dimension. But our flowers are dying, so we're going to take that grid and pop that on, once again adding more dimension. We're taking the entire set. We're looking, just like in the window light studio, where we had the windows stacked earlier to create the natural illumination, we stacked our soft boxes. But if we do not take the time to illuminate the background, then we're not going to have the professional result that we're after. Let's look at it from the camera's point of view. Light, starting with the background. The subtle gradation of the softbox. When it comes to the hair, we want to bring out the texture, so we chose a honeycomb grid. Not only for control, but the quality of the light. Let us look at the kick light. Once again, going back to a small softbox, so it'll be much more subtle. The key light, the very vital key light, is going to put the dimension into her face. But the fill light is very important also to control the shadow. Now, as we look at this, it's just absolutely beautiful. But what about that kick light on that plant? Let's just bring it in and look at the absolute professional results of combining all 6 lights at one time. Hey, perfect pose, Melissa. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit more dimension. We're going to put a little window in the background. Very, very subtle. Just adding, once again, another dimension. But what if I want that to be a bit more dramatic? I'll just drop off the background, and you can see the possibilities are endless. Okay, let's grab that on film just a moment. Melissa, turn this way. Right to here. Perfect, perfect. Right to there. Good. One more. Stretch it right. Perfect.
We're back to where we started, the window light, the natural, soft light source that's perfect for portrait photography. But it's not a window. It's the ultimate softbox, the Elinchrom Octa. Look at the size, look at the evenness of the illumination, and see how it wraps around the subject to give the best possible results. Let's look inside and see how it works. As you can see, the unit is positioned in the precise optical center of the box. A position calculated so that the distance from the flash tube to the front diffuser via the reflecting surface is always the same. That gives us a front surface that's always evenly illuminated. And because the system is so efficient, even a very small unit, like our Compact 250, will give us enough light for portrait photography. You see, Elinchrom don't make softboxes for other people, so we have the luxury of being able to produce softboxes that work perfectly for our units. Let's see what this accessory will do in the hands of Joe Craig.
Good, good, good. Scott, pull this way a bit. Come on, come on, right there. Good. Okay, you can relax. You can relax, because I want to talk about this light for just a moment. and it made you look great, okay? And it makes everybody look great. If I could only have one lighting accessory, it would be the Elinchrom Octabox. Why? It is absolutely the in vogue fashion light. And I want my portraiture to look like fashion, okay? So here we got it. Why? Why is it so good? First, perfectly even illuminated all the way across the surface. Very large light source, both height and width. Subject standing, seated on a stool, seated on the floor. Always good. Always good. Now, this is going to allow us to go back to the beginning and think about the windows. We had the subject in the center. We had a little kick light coming here, filled here. The only change we're going to make is we're going to add just a little bit of a reflector down here, catching the front edge, returning it to the eyes. But we're going to be able to create several effects by just moving them forward and backwards. Now let me move them back in just a bit. Can you come back in? We had great poses there. I want to pull you back in right there. I want you to pull on her a little closer. Good, good, good. Bring your eyes right back to the camera. Now I want to get a real close-up. Look at the illumination. Look at the illumination. And if we want to go with a little touch of soft focus, even better, even better. It's going to let us do a glamour close-up, a high fashion pose. We can light a family group with this. There's absolutely no other light that can do the things the Elinchrom Octa can. I'm going to turn this light in this way just a bit. Now if you think about it, we're changing the background. Look at the effect as we feather back for a mid key, maybe almost a high key, or all the way forward for a low key. We're taking the Octabox, the ultimate photographic accessory for the portrait photographer. And we are not only controlling dimension on the face, we're also controlling the background. Let's look at the same thing with just a single subject. Good, perfect, a little brighter smile, a little bit more, perfect. Look at that perfect illumination. Absolutely wonderful, only from the Octabox. Why? Because we can work so close. Remember, the closer we are, the softer the light. Most boxes we simply cannot work this close because we can't keep the illumination even. If we wanted to go to a 3/4 pose versus the close-up, we just wouldn't be able to do it. Think about it just a moment. Let's come in here and take a reading. We're 16.4. Well, how about the 3/4 length? Let's read down here. 16.4. Now, in a traditional softbox, if we illuminate this at any given amount, then we're going to have a lot of fall off. Now, think about that, 16.4, and we're using just a tiny amount of illumination, just less than 200 joules output. Wonderful. Doesn't take a lot of power because the light box is very, very efficient. It's going to allow us another, listen to this. This even gets better. We can pull her out. Wendy, can I pull you this way just a bit? Now, because this light bounces back and then the light travels back out here, think about how much better that's going to be. We're not shooting straight through like a parabolic where when we shifted this far we'd be a stop off. Look at this. Hit it again. 16.1. Just 3/10 of a stop. We've moved her out far enough now to do a full length. See, we never have to move that. It's going to give us the versatility. We can move all over the set. Just a little change of the light. What are we trying to do? We're trying to get expression in the subject. Get that emotion, that feel. How are we going to do that? We're going to use accessories that make our life easy. That's really what it's all about. Oh, I love to take the time to illuminate the set perfectly with all the soft boxes, but when I have to get in there and get the job done quick, Elinchrom Octa, the #1 light.